So when are we starting?
It's all started.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So the song I'm going to be playing is it's called "Focus on the Prize," and I wrote the song for the City Commission grant, and it's actually my final song I'll be playing for tonight. And the point of the song is just stay focused on what we're doing. You know, focus on the prize, regardless of what's going on around us and everything else. Just to stay focused on what is our ultimate goal, regardless of what's going on around us and what we're being told. So this song is for. I tried to make the song about we and less about I. You know, you be writing love songs, you just write about your own experience, but this is a song for the collective. So it's called "Focus on the Prize." I'd rather be a dreamer than to never believe. Sometimes it's easier to close your eyes, let your mind be free. Seems like every screen wants to manipulate your thoughts and tell us how to be. It's time we detach ourselves from these false ideas of reality. This song is for the ones who want a little more from life, and just having a hard time feeling that their choices are leading them down the right path this time. And you'll have to go left once or twice before you can make it right. And don't get lost where you are right now. Better days are in sight. We need to stop telling people to believe everything that they read. Some want us to know the truth, while others just want us to believe what they think. If it's not making sense to you, you're probably getting closer to what you need. If you can't see with your own eyes, it's probably better that you question things. This song is for the ones who want a little more from life, and just having a hard time feeling that the choices are leading down the right path this time. Have to go left once or twice before you can make it right. And don't get lost where you are right now. Better days are in sight. I'd rather be a dreamer than to never believe. to close your eyes, let your mind be free. Seems like every screen wants to manipulate your thoughts and tell us how to be. It's time we detach ourselves from these false ideas of reality. This song is for the ones who want a little more life, and just having a hard time finding out their choices are leading them down the right path this time. You have to go left once or twice before you can make it right. And don't get lost where you are right now. Better days are in sight.
That was.
Appreciate you.
Let me sign you. You got a record deal?
Nah, no.
I actually listened to this. My name is Yusra,
And I'm Gilbert.
and today we have.
Welcome back to Eat and Talk, everyone. It's Yusra again.
And I'm Gilbert, and we're back with another episode of Eat and Talk.
Yes, and we have the amazing, talented Shahidi. We just
appreciate
got done
y'all.
listening to his beautiful song. What was the title again?
Focus on the prize.
Focus on Your Prize. And wow, I'm still mind blown. I'm still processing his singing.
For me, I'm working on this deal. I'm trying to sign him. So
We just want to get right into it. Shahidi, you're an artist. You're a singer. Tell us about your background and how you started singing.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me here today. So it's a pleasure.
it's all love.
Yes.
It's all love.
Yeah, my name is Shahidi. Hassan Shahid is like my name, but my artist name is Shahidi. From the Twin Cities, born and raised. From right here in Minneapolis. I think I was born in St. Paul,
This
actually.
man said, I
wow,
think.
you're a
This man
native.
said, I think
Yeah.
I was born.
Honestly, because I had to ask my mom. I was like, I think I was born in St. Paul, but I be claiming Minneapolis because that's like the home where I was
where you
raised and
grew up.
everything. But I now live in St. Paul, so
Okay.
whenever I just say I'm from the Twin Cities.
Cities.
you
It's
know.
nothing wrong.
Yeah, born and raised Muslim, African American, third generation Muslim, and I always like emphasize on being Muslim just because it was a really strong part of my identity growing up, and I don't know, it's just it's kind of hard not to mention it, even though I'm still not the best practicing Muslim myself. We all have our struggles spiritually, but yeah, it's a huge part of my identity growing up. I come from a big family, you know, got cousins and siblings for days, and my son's here with me today as well.
Shout out to him.
You know, and it's just I don't know. What was the question exactly?
Yeah, so I just
Yeah.
wanted to know. Like, you start off, we wanted to know your background. You were born and raised here in the Twin Cities.
Yeah.
You just sang a beautiful song. So I wanted to know, how did you become an artist?
How did I become an artist? It's crazy. I think I never thought that I would be classified as an artist per se, but I think music has always been something that's really connected to me for my life. My mother used to sing songs to us, Muslim songs. They're called qasidas and nasheeds. Growing up, I was raised Sufi Muslim, so that's a big part of like the prayer aspect.
I know there's going to be a lot of people that are watching, but you said Sufi Muslim?
Yep, Sufi. So there's Sunni Muslim is like traditional Islam, and then
Okay.
Sufism is a more spiritual
Okay.
aspect of Islam. And there's tons of history on that as
Okay.
well. It's just like founded in like Morocco, and there's like a poet named Rumi,
Okay.
very well known in the poetry community, who was Sufi, who practiced Sufism.
Okay.
So I grew up in a household where that was a part of like our day-to-day practices in terms of like
Okay.
singing prayers, and so there was always singing going on. But my mom wasn't like always fond of like modern music, so when my mom would leave the house, and me and my sister be like banging like 101.3 or like or you know or what do you call
What was
it?
it, 96.3
Oh,
or
no,
something?
I
Or
was a-
B96.
B96. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, my mom was not going for B96.
Yeah.
But Radio Disney was that deal too.
Right.
1440, shout out.
Love it.
But we used to sneak the radio. But music was just always something that would like connected with me. So I ended up in high school. My friend Sam used to play guitar.
Okay.
And
Any school talents? Did you do any talent shows?
I did one show at the Patrick Cabaret. I don't know if you guys know it.
Okay, yeah.
I think it's like an old theater. It's actually, Patrick Cabaret is right next to where they burnt down the precincts. It's right next door to it. So that theater is right there on where George Floyd passed away. It's that theater. Yeah, so I ended up doing a talent show there. But I wasn't that great, you know. I ended up picking up the guitar. Somebody gave me a guitar at 18. His name was Chet Funk, and kind of just donated it to me. It was just like, I could
That's
see
the
you
first
have
time you
Yeah,
learned
you were
playing at
that
18?
guitar like someone that
Wow.
has been playing it for a
Yeah,
while.
no, I picked it up like after high school, and I
wow.
was just like, I'm gonna do this. So I used to be a person in college at the U, you know, taking my generals and whatever else it is, and I always have this guitar, and it's like, do you play that thing? I was like, I know like 3 chords on it, and that was about it. So it was a journey, but it wasn't until, you know, after school and everything else, and just going through life struggles of being an adult and being in your 20s and finances, and you know, having a child at a younger age, and my peers, and just being an adult, you know. And I didn't really know. I mean, we all have people to talk to, right? We all got
Absolutely.
family, we all got friends, but you know, there's some things you don't really have that the people to talk to about. So I would write songs to sort of kind of like deal with whatever day-to-day struggles I'm going to, and it became like a tool of therapy for me. So I remember I wrote my first song like Sweet and Spicy Jalapeno Dipped in Honey.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a nice
That
title.
title.
I want to know what was that
happened
song
to that
about?
song? It's still inside of, you know, the vault.
vault.
You know, it hasn't been
release that
released.
someday.
But Sweet and Spicy Jalapeno Dipped in Honey is what set it
Wow.
all off, and it was from that moment I realized that I was able to capture emotions, capture moments, and it just became my everyday practice from there. And I got to the point where I got good enough and I felt confident where I was like, you know, I'm gonna start doing this in the streets. So I was around it. I've been around the Twin Cities, like literally posted up different places, just playing guitar, and you know, you be out there for a couple hours and people start throwing dollars inside your guitar, and you're like, okay,
I can get used to this.
I can probably get used to this. So, you know, from there, I don't know, it's just been a journey since then, and I guess now I'm an artist.
Yeah,
but,
I guess you are.
yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I don't guess I'm an artist. You are an artist.
Yeah, we all up in here now,
Yeah.
but it's like, it's been, you know, when I sit here and I tell the story, like, it was just no more than me just pursuing something that I was passionate about, and it's just been a journey.
And I want to touch base. I like how you kept your name instead of going by a different artist name. You kind of kept your name.
It's been a struggle with my name because I embodied this name Shahidi, right?
Yeah.
And that's my Hassan Shahidi is my last name. But everybody still, like, even when flyers everybody knows me Hassan, so they're like Hassan Shahidi. So I'm like conflicted. Should I just go by Hassan Shahidi or Shahidi? So we're still up in the air about the name. You might end up changing it, but yeah, Shahidi means the witness, and it's my last name.
Yeah, there's
so.
nothing wrong with changing it. Did he change his name like
Yeah.
5 times?
Yeah.
But
Holla, yeah, I might be young Shahidi soon. Watch out.
I love it. So, you know, you're a young father.
Yeah.
You live in Minnesota. You were born and raised here, and so I'm sure, like, there's been some obstacles thrown at you, and I just want to know, like, what could you tell people? How did you overcome those obstacles through your artwork, and how did you find out that music was your passion, and how did you get the confidence to like stand out in the streets and play? You know, especially when you just picked up a guitar at 18.
Is this guy homeless?
Like, no one's homeless.
Not right now. You never know.
Exactly.
We might be at the shelter next week.
I mean, we'll pray to God.
God forbid.
We'll pray to God that you're not. But yeah, so like, you know, how did you get to those stages? What were some things that you manifested to get you to where you
manifested, that's an interesting word. I know it's one we all use these days.
It is
speaking things into
exactly.
existence.
Yeah, you're right about that word.
I think for me it was just like I said, in my 20s it was a lot of struggles. I got from being a father at a young age and just dealing with some of the adversities. I dealt with that. Co-parenting, you know, it's never an easy task.
Was it hard being like Muslim and like African American, and then going into music? Like, how was that? Was there any obstacles there?
Any obstacles of being? I mean, honestly, I just been riding the wave. Like, there's all these constructs of what we're supposed to be and how things work, but I just been doing things that feel good for me.
Good.
I think with whatever obstacles I've dealt with, I'm a pretty strong-willed individual,
I like
and I try to take everything for what it is. You know, I think whatever obstacles you have, you just gotta, you know, let it bounce off your shoulder.
Yeah.
We all deal with issues, and I think with the guitar, for me, music was a tool for me. Like I said, I mentioned it was like therapeutic. Like when I'm dealing with things, I would go to the pen and I would write, and I think. I remember there was a point where I was like taking classes and working, and I didn't have a car, so I was on the bus, and just that routine every day being on the bus. And I remember I was on the bus every day for at least about 3 hours, so I would be on the bus just writing about like the things that I envisioned myself, and I would go back and be like, man, this is poetry. But all I was doing was journaling. So I think it was just about finding times for myself outside of like my 9 to 5, my responsibilities as a father, everything else, and just, you know, just finding time for myself, regardless of where it's at.
Yeah.
I think you answered the question. I'm still gonna ask the question, but I feel like you answered it. So, do you have anyone that inspires you to do what you're doing?
Anybody that inspires me?
Because it seems like you're just,
or that you look up to, like as an artist.
To.
Like, is there someone that are like, damn, like I hear their music, it's dope. This is what touches me. It's what I want to do.
Because it seems like you're in your own wave, which that's
very
the thing
much
that I respect the most.
I am in my own space.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot. I get inspired every day.
Okay.
I think I get inspired through every interaction with any person that I meet.
Okay.
I think that as artists, we're all. It's just an external expression of who you are and whatever craft that you're doing. Let it be e-commerce or, you know, a visual artist. It's a way for you to internally reflect externally, and I feed off of people who are, you know, being true to self. So there isn't one particular like artist that like I'm like. I mean, I love Kid Cudi. He's great. You know, I think that's my guy.
Kinda
but,
like that was
you know,
like,
but like I think I appreciate anybody who's doing their art, and I get inspired every day. You know, just
well, if you get inspired by Eat and Talk, please write us a song.
I have. That's why I reached out to you guys, because
we need a song.
I've been seeing you guys work, and it's just like seeing people work on their craft individually and doing what they're passionate about. I think that's so important in this day and age because the way that technology is set up.
Yeah.
And I think about, you know, we're all told to like work these 9 to 5s and do that, but like really. We're all walking and talking brands, you know.
That's true.
And I think it's important to find your own path. And I found it through some guitar strings and, you know, songwriting. But it just allows me the space to be able to express myself. And like, I recently got awarded the Cedar Commission grant.
Congratulations!
I saw that in the articles. We've been sharing it. That's amazing.
Congratulations on that.
So maybe you can tell us a little bit more about that grant. What it is for those who don't know?
Yeah. So I mean, the grant is they selected 6 recipients out of like 60 people this year. They do it every year. And they gave those 6 recipients a lump sum of money to do art. And we had the privilege to do it during pandemic. So a lot of the stuff was like virtual in terms of working with each other. But they really gave us a lot of space to just be creative and just produce it. AJ just actually performed last night. She did the live performance. And then tonight we have Farwell. Shout out to Farwell. He used to go to Osberg. He used to kick it all the time. And Tier as well is performing. And then tomorrow is me and Sana. We got our show tomorrow. And it's a completely like virtual concert that they have all set up.
Wow.
Okay. So yeah, it's been a great opportunity just being able to use that platform and just to get my art out there. And I think I was on NPR like last week, so I was super
You're doing
geeked.
big
He's
things,
doing
man.
big things. I think there was Star
artist.
Tribune did an article about the show, but they like featured like your photo and everything, and so
I got a little buzz.
I
right
see
now.
some
Yo,
buzz
that's
going
not a little
on.
buzz. You got a buzz.
I didn't, but like a month ago, it was nothing. You know?
Yeah.
But it's just, I think just to buzz.
He said buzz.
Buzz Lightyear.
Right.
But it's been a privilege just to be able to be here, you know. And I think I'm excited for whatever's to come. But my project was focused around Black male vulnerability.
Speak on that. Speak on that.
I don't, you know, when I was writing the grant, like I was already going through a lot. I think we all were, just the pandemic and George Floyd happened. I think it was before George Floyd, but just you know, even me being a father and dealing with systemic issues of what it means to parent. And so I had the opportunity to write out this grant, and I focused. My theme was focused around the exploration of Black vulnerability. I think that, especially as Black men, we're always told to be these hyper-masculated or these, especially if you're like a heterosexual male, you come into like a specific category, and that's what you are. But I don't see enough space for us Black men to be vulnerable, if not in like a sexual matter, but just like express like true feelings. And a lot of my music is like sad, emotional, like just sort of kind of exploration of like inner self and being introspective. So I kind of base my project just sort of exploring that concept, but also creating a space for other artists to do the same. So all the artists I work with are either people of color, or black individuals who are also working around that concept. So I have like Lance Bronius, who comes from like New Orleans and plays the horn. Detroit Melodies, a young singer-songwriter. Debbie Moore, phenomenal violinist, and as well as Sanoof, one of my frat brothers. They all came on my project, and they'll be on the concert tomorrow.
Wow, it's gonna be exciting.
And it should be.
Quick, do you listen to Lenny Kravitz?
You know, I think I get
You're
the
trying to
reference
compare
all
him.
the time.
Yeah, I knew he was gonna bring that up.
Every person when they see me, they be like, "Oh my God, Lenny Kravitz."
You heard it before. That's funny.
Yeah, but I'm aware who Lenny Kravitz is. Maybe one day I'll have his money. You know,
someday. But listening to you, so would you write for other people?
Oh, I mean, if the opportunities ever came, I'll do whatever is needed. I'll write for you, sing for you, and right now I'm taking whatever opportunity.
But do you think people, if you're writing for other people, do you think people would catch on or grab onto the song like you would?
So my purpose for whenever I write, I try to write music that doesn't sound good.
Oh, okay.
I try to write music that feels good.
Okay.
So whenever I'm writing from a place of feeling. And I think as long as I keep my writing based around that, I think anybody should be able to connect with the message, even if they don't like the sound, if they don't like the way I squeal my voice or whatever else it is. You can listen to the words and the lyrics and be like,
it's always good. Yeah.
I can connect with it. So if anybody's willing to collaborate with me and then wants to create music that feels good, I'm more than willing.
Exactly.
We definitely let you guys know.
Do you have
let
a
me know.
song that you wrote that's your favorite that just sticks with you? I'm sure you love all your songs that you wrote, but is there a song that sticks out?
Focus More on Me is not even recorded yet. So I mean that's very new, but
wait, it's not. It's new, so we shouldn't air it. Or
no, it's cool.
It?
You know, that's for the people, man.
Okay.
I write for the people. I'm not really. I ain't signed to a label yet. So how I distribute my music is how I distribute it.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
But no, I think if I was to think of one song that would be because I just recorded Chicago Love and I want to mention that, but I think the song that can resonate with everybody was Focus More on Me, and I made it right before we went into the pandemic, and I was already, I think I recorded the song in like January 2020, and I created some visuals for it like in April 20th or something. But the whole point of the song was like really about focusing on self, looking inward for validation and not being influenced by outside influences. I think Focus More on Me is it's a lifestyle I think we can all get with. Is taking that time to, regardless of what's going around you, taking that time to work on your individual needs, because I think we all need that. We get so distracted with our screens and the people we're invested with that we forget sometimes to heal ourselves by investing inside of ourselves. So that was kind of an anthem for me for 2020, was just like Focus More on Me. And then we went to pandemic. It was like, well, you know,
I can't do
we
that.
we can all do that. You know?
Still
So,
focus on ourselves.
yeah, so it just became a really much an anthem. But I think that's a song that I think anybody can connect to. And Focus More on Me is on all platforms.
Right, stream it.
Yeah, stream it.
Yeah,
And there's actually a video for it and everything. But
That's awesome.
I think
Chicago love.
Chicago Love.
Why
It's
Chicago Love? Minnesota Love. You should.
I think Chicago Love is.
Oh, you know it. You can sing it.
It's a pretty great song, but Chicago Love, I wrote it part of the commission project as well, and it's actually the love of my parents. I thought about their love, and that was what I kind of created. But really, it's a kind of a shout out to just my connection to Chicago, being African American Muslim male. There's a lot of our history that comes from Chicago with the Nation of Islam and that movement, and I kind of originate from that. So it's kind of like a shout out of the love story that I embody, of Chicago, because that's rooted anybody. Because there's always that joke that like black people from Twin Cities, they come from Chicago. I know y'all heard that. So
migrate
it's that shout out to anybody that's black who has that connection to Chicago that can resonate to. And that's also recently I just dropped that, I think, for Black History Month. I have a live version of that song on that we performed at the City Commissions on the single, and as well as we have the one I recorded. So I'm probably going to remaster it because I'm still recording this stuff in my house.
Oh, that was my next question. So where are you doing the recording? Where are you doing it in your house?
Yeah, man. So I mean, like, honestly, I'm in a place of growth. I'm still very much in development. I think I just, like I said, I try to create music that feels good and that connects to individuals. I'm not looking to be heard by the masses. I'm looking for that 0.5%, of people who can connect to my music.
The funny thing you say that, because I think the artists like you are the ones that actually succeed the most. Yeah. The ones that don't want to be heard are the ones that are actually heard by people, instead of being the flashy, I want my music on every single platform and all that stuff.
I mean, we're on all platforms.
Well, yeah.
I want to be heard, but I'm not worried about people
the numbers or any of that stuff. So
and I just want to create. I'm still like, the friend asks me every day, like, what are you doing? And I'm just like, I don't quite know. I'm just still doing things that make me happy. My music at this point has been, like I said, my therapy through my individual developments in my life, and it's just it's only a blessing now that I can do this show that we're doing tomorrow, and whatever else is to come afterwards. But I'm still growing. I need to get my e-commerce on, Focus on Me t-shirts, and
that's something you could do.
But I haven't even got there yet, man. It's just about
baby steps.
Hopefully getting people to connect to my music. Attend the concert. I hope they can appreciate the show. You're gonna be able to Sunday, March 7th, 7:30 Central Standard Time. You can check it out. And if it's going to be on, you can find a link in my bio on Instagram. And after that, the show's going to be showing all month. So if you can't catch it at that time, you can watch it all month. Just buy your tickets, like $5 or $10. Pay what you can, and it's going to be an amazing show.
So I know you have your manager next to you, your son. So
big man, right?
What does he inspire you when it comes to your music?
What you mean? He is everything. I think my son is the reason why I'm still here in the Twin Cities. And I think it's crazy when you're actually on the mics and you're, you know, talking about it. But being a parent is been one of the most beautiful adversities I've ever had in my life. Especially as a black father. I don't know, and dealing with dealing with systemic institutions and how I should and shouldn't parent my son. And I mean, it's only timing that I have him.
Speak for all the fathers out there.
And I mean,
speak for all the fathers.
Yeah, man, he's my blessing, man, because I mean, I wasn't ready to be no father when I had him, but it was about, I had to learn. It was a new love for me, man. Like, it's one thing to love a woman. It's one thing to love your mother. It's one thing to love your sisters, your friends. It's another thing to love a child. And I think a lot of people miss that opportunity, and they miss that. It's so important because society tries to keep us away from each other. You know, and I think it's I love this man more than anything.
That's powerful. So the next question: so how would you advise if you wanted to go the music route as a father? How do you advise your child to follow the steps that they want to follow instead of
have
following
multiple?
your step?
Gotta have options. I mean, I don't just do music. I'm also in the tech field as well. And you know, I before that I was a youth worker before then, and I mean, I've always done other things outside of my music. My music has been my therapy. It's been my tool outside of my 9 to 5 and me parenting and, you know, socializing is the things that kept me sane. You know, outside of praying or my various forms of meditation. But, you know, I think you can do whatever you want to do. You just have to be versatile in what you're doing. It's 2021. You can't just do one thing.
That's true.
You can't just throw your.
Tell them again.
Tell them.
You just can't do one thing.
Sources.
Yeah, multiple sources.
I mean.
So the next question: have you looked into? Because, you know, listening to you talk, have you looked into music therapy and all that stuff? Like,
I mean, right now I'm just going with the wave, like I said. So,
like teaching music therapy.
Yeah,
I mean, I think through this, I've been people have asked me to teach their kids guitar. I'm like, I'm receptive to it. You know, I used to do youth work, so you know, right now I haven't really figured out my biggest plan for what am I doing right now. I'm in a constant state of just doing. You know what I'm saying? Like. You saying that maybe I should look into music therapy.
The reason why I asked is because I just found out too that there's music, you know, there's people that actually do music therapy.
Yeah.
You know,
so you performed at the George Memorial, or George Floyd Memorial.
Square is what they're calling it. They're calling it the square now.
Yeah.
It does look like the square.
You know, how did the unfortunate events with George Floyd, you know, affect you? How did you put it into your music? And what was it like performing here?
I wrote a song called Everything Burning Around Me, and it's inside the show. And I remember I wrote it like right when everything was burning around us in the Twin Cities, right when he passed
Were you
away.
out? Were you in the protest or like?
I think I stepped out and I seen it, and I seen some tear gas, and I was like, I'm going home.
Well, you said you wrote the song before?
That was around the time.
When you got the grant, was it before?
Honestly, I don't know the timing, but I'm pretty sure it was either like right around it. It was like right when it happened. I just felt inspired to like write about it. It's probably like a month within when it happened. But I wrote that song, and I performed it I will be performing at the live showing. But I don't know. I think I being a person of color, being a black man, like, I mean, I write about my emotions every day, what it means to be a black man, how people look at me, how people talk to me, how they respond to me, you know, just the energy of all of it, you know. I think that's in my music. There's no way that you can't listen to my music and not, you know, have that connection to what it means to be a black person in the Twin Cities. But, I mean, I wrote that song in particular, but what was the question exactly?
Yeah, so like, you know, how when those events are happening, how were you feeling? And you answered my question that you did put it into your music. So I just wanted to know, how did you put it into your music? And then my third follow-up with that was, how was this performance and just visiting the memorial since then?
Because this happened last week.
And I have another question too.
Let him answer those first.
So I was recently at the square and for the memorial, and they had like an open mic, and I just performed that song, focus on the prize. And it's very interesting about that song because from that footage actually was taken by somebody, and they tried to like even with that, they tried to like, it was something really sketchy happening, man. Like, I don't know if I should be saying it because I think it's the higher powers at play where they tried to put a political agenda around my music.
No way, really?
And
Wow.
I would have to kind of like put the nay on that, like.
Don't speak on that.
Yeah. It was but you know, it was a blessing to be able to you know, perform there because that was my first time performing there since I think I was there once before, but you know, they caught it on footage and.
Do you have the rights to that footage, by the way?
To that? I mean, they handed it over to me.
Okay, good. That's good.
I told them that I didn't want to delete it, but
okay.
So shout out to them for taking the footage from me, but I didn't want to be a part of it.
Okay.
Means more power to the people, you know, whatever the organizations are doing, but I just didn't want my music connected to that right now. And the whole song's about, you know, just you know, the whole point of that song, Focus on the Prize, is about, like, regardless of what's going on, like, just stay focused on what you're doing. And knowing. What
were your emotions when you were writing that song and when the incident with George Floyd happened?
Can you repeat that?
What were your emotions like when the whole George Floyd thing happened and when you were writing this song? And I mean, you talk about, like, as a black man, like, it's not easy being in the Twin Cities, regardless. People always look at you. But after that, I'm sure things even shifted even more.
I think for me, you know, that happening inside our own backyard, for me, it's like they're killing us, but I don't want nothing to do with that. So I think for me, I went out to that protest one time and I seen the tear gas on these people out here. I'm like, these people ain't even from Minneapolis who are out here right now. Like
That's true.
This ain't my fight. My fight is just I need to be home, and I make sure Nordine's in it. We took Nordine out to the square, and make sure he saw that that this is happening in our own backyard. But you know, I got my own obligations. I was still writing music. I was still, you know, just you know, I was working at the time, and just taking care of my obligations. I realized that you know you can get involved with the movement more than just. Actively protest, and you can do it in your own circles.
Keep yourself safe.
Yeah, you gotta keep yourself safe. You gotta stay home and just you know take care of your own obligations because it's a bigger war that is sometimes bigger than us. And I think I even talked about it in my music. You know, I said something around the lines of you know like. You know, I think it's in its own disbelief, you know, but it's just like sometimes I don't want to go outside, and, you know, because I don't want to deal with the things that I see, you know. And I think, you know, being in quarantine, you know, that's what's real. You know, I stay home in my one-bedroom apartment, and I write my songs, I play my video games, and when I need to go outside, I go outside because, especially as Black people, we got to be very intentional about when we move and how we conduct ourselves because all we are looking for is an opportunity for us to change that perspective of who we are. And I mean, I don't try to think in a negative lens all the time. You know, I try to be optimistic. And but it's a reality that my mother taught me at a young age. It's just you know, be mindful of the company you keep and how you presenting yourself. And sometimes I struggle with perception management. You know, in terms of how people view me, but. I just try to be consistent with who I am, and I don't know. I'm really intentional about what I get involved in because you know, as a father, I have obligations to him, and I have obligations to my family. So I try to express myself through my music. I try to create those feelings that you know that can resonate with people, that can help people to feel good, to uplift people. If not, give them validations. If you want to cry, cry. You know, if you wanna scream, scream. I think you know we always call positive vibes. You need to manifest what you need, but sometimes you know, shit is just kind of mediocre sometimes. You know, and it's okay to be like you know, things are not okay right now, and you know, having space to be able to do that, and it creates a space of healing. Sometimes of being able to accept your reality and then being able to internalize that and grow from there. And I think that's what I do, and I try to implement that inside my practices and also through my music. So
that leads me to my next question because I'm asking this question for myself and probably all the other guys that are watching. I know as men we're prideful for expressing our feelings. Sometimes we don't want to express our feelings. So
we don't do it enough.
What are some advice that you can give men, some men that are gonna
to
be
my
watching.
brothers. I'm speaking
to your
to
brothers.
I'm speaking to the
your
brothers
brothers,
right now.
Yeah.
To the homies.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing is that you gotta find people who you can like confide in.
Mm-hmm.
I know in my circle, like trust is important, but people you can confide in, that you can actually talk to about your things. You all gotta have somebody. I mean, we're told as individuals that we have to, keep everything up, but there's so much microaggressions that we deal with on a day to day that we need to be able to talk about some of the things we're going through, and for that to be validated. So I would just say find people you can confide in. If not, find an outlet so you can be heard. Okay. And I think it's important for you to do that. And if not, at least have healthy practices that you can invest into and consistently invest into. Yes. For me, it's writing. It might be working out. It might be,
eating for some people.
It might open and how to kind of let your pride and ego to the side. So you can continue touching on that.
I think you can still have pride and ego, but
I was gonna say my dad is a good person.
He is a great person.
I needed that cosign.
I love it.
That's the best thing I
Best manager.
I'm good. We gone. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's wrap it up.
Cut.
Can you be my manager too? I need that.
But I think
I don't think so.
I think I heard just recently they said in the pandemics that the historians said that the things that are happening right now, you should document them. Everybody should be documenting everything that's going on because of everything that's happening. Things are going to be changing quickly. Mm-hmm. And I think when you being able to go back to have a daily log to check in with yourself, I think that's the most easiest way where you can check in with yourself because writing things down is so powerful because you write something down, it's just a thought, and you be like, what am I writing about? But you check that in 3 weeks from now, you be like, whoa, that's ridiculous. So I think at minimum, man, we should definitely write more instead of like confiding into public social media outlets and expressing ourselves, but like really checking in with self. It don't have to be tons of people. I think I said earlier, have somebody to confide in, but really, focusing more on me, like checking in with yourself because all the answers that you need emotionally, spiritually, metaphysically, whatever you want to believe in, you can find them right with yourself. So I think, taking that intentional time, just being with self, I think it would be the starting point for a lot of people to deal with whatever emotional struggles or imbalances that they have. And I think that's one thing our generation that we lack in a little bit is that we're so in need of spirituality. I know I'm thirsting for it all the time, and I was born and raised Muslim. And I still struggle with my spirituality, but just having a connection with the higher power or inner self, they be talking about chakras and alignments, but really it's just checking in with yourself, man. Once a week, 30 minutes a day, something, but like something for yourself, a routine that you can just be able to look in the mirror and, be able to love yourself and heal yourself. And I think if people did a little bit of that, a little bit more, you can accomplish so many things. And it doesn't matter what people tell you. Yeah. I mean, like I've been doing this music thing, and people have tons of things to say. Still got things to say, but it's
just like life is sometimes easy, life is sometimes hard.
Exactly, and it's a balance. So being able to find that balance in your life, and you can do that by checking with yourself. So
I respect that. I think I'm gonna, try to apply the 30 minutes, find something, for 30 minutes a day to just check in.
Yeah, healthy outlet,
I respect that. I know we could probably sit here and talk for hours, but we'll connect after this.
And I'm still learning, man. I'm a student of life, so, I'm only thing I'm saying is things that I try to practice in my day-to-day. It's not coming out of a book, it's just what's worked for me, and what works for me is not going to work for everybody.
That's true.
So
I always want to make sure that I end the interviews with just one advice.
Eat and talk,
Mm-hmm.
One advice that you could give myself or your son or another child out there that is going to watch this, or as a parent you can put yourself in a parent's shoe. What is an advice that you think every person
educate yourself?
Okay.
I think I'm not talking about institutions. I'm about seeking knowledge, and protect what's yours.
Okay.
and figure out what is yours. And I think it's important to educate ourselves, because we can't go against these wars with, you know, guns and swords and, you know, like physical violence anymore. We have to fight these wars for our words and through our practices, and by checking in with self, you know. And I think by doing that, we can provide more for the people who are directly there to us, and then also the people who are indirectly there. You'll just be able to do more by educating yourself and protecting what is yours. So
we appreciate you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, really do. I appreciate you, and we will, you know, have your Instagram page. Everything is gonna be uploaded so people can follow you. And
yeah, man.
You have a manager that they reach out to.
Man, it's me, myself, and I right now. You know,
you guys can reach out to him. But once again, thank you.
Yeah, definitely.
I've learned a lot. I'm sure other people will learn a lot too. Like I said, we'll connect after the show. And
definitely, make sure y'all check out the concerts, the live performance, and we're going to performing it all March, Cedar Commissions. It's my best work yet, I think, and I'm excited to be able to present that to you guys. So definitely tap in. Tickets are $5-10, and come kick it with me for like an hour.
all right.
Yeah.
We will. I'm very, very happy that you came here today. Yeah. We'll definitely make sure that we promote. I know this episode's not going to come out by tomorrow, but we'll still make sure that we promote your show that's coming on tomorrow.
And we playing all March. So.
And playing all March, so that's perfect. So we'll make sure we're in tune. But thank you so much for coming. Like I said, we always like to have people come back. We love to see the progress. We love to know what's up. So we'd love to have you back one day. And hear what's coming next for you, because I think
I look forward to
got a great future, great future, great talent. We want to hear you sing some more. We can do some collabs.
I'll do a whole show next
Eat
time.
and Talk live. We'll do all that.
Add me to Eat and Talk. I'll
we
be in the
will.
back every show.
Yes, and you have a lit, amazing manager that's very positive and handsome. So yeah, thank you so much for coming and bringing him as well, showing us your gem and your inspiration and motivation. So it means a lot.
Y'all keep doing the good work.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Peace.
Yes.
I'm coming back here.
Yes, you are. We'll pay for you to come back.
We'll have his clothing line next
Perfect.
time, we won't be wearing Nike next
Nuruddin
time.
merch coming soon.
Nuruddin merch coming soon. 2022.
I love it. Thank you.
2020, 50, 159.
Yeah, that's a lot of time. He looks just like you. He's so handsome.
Yeah.